Hey folks, Charles here with Atomic Swan Films. On June 15th, Atomic Swan celebrated its 1-year anniversary. And on that same day, I announced our next project, Project Little Boy. Project Little Boy is, well, essentially this. Now this will be a chopped and custom rat rod style show bicycle. I'm making it to display at shows and at events like Back to the Bricks, and I'm hoping for a debut at the Rockabilly Show at the Row on August 12th. That's the Friday before the Back to the Bricks event. Now what a rat rod is basically, it's a piece of artwork that kind of looks like a piece of crap, but isn't. And it is usually a vehicle of some kind. Hence the rod part of it, like a hot rod. Wikipedia defines a rat rod as a style of hot rod or custom car that in most cases imitates or exaggerates the early hot rods of the 40s, 50s, and 60s. It is not to be confused with a somewhat closely related traditional hot rod, which is an accurate recreation or period-correct restoration of a hot rod from the same era. Most rat rods appear unfinished, whether they actually are or not, with just the bare essentials to be driven. So like any Atomic Swan project, I want this to be sort of a community effort. What I'm looking for and how you can help me is I'm looking for parts. The biggest part that I'm looking for right now is a fender, like a motorcycle fender, something to go over the back tire and would cover about half the back tire. I would take a motorcycle fender because I can chop that and modify it to what I need. Most bicycle fenders, they're very small and just cover the edge of the tire. I want half the back wheel covered. So I'm looking for cheap or free parts, and what do I mean by cheap? I mean like 20 bucks or less. Other parts I'm looking for are if you have a bullet light. I would love to have a bullet light on the front of this thing. I'm also thinking of taking an old beer can, the bigger, thicker, heavier ones, and I can chop and modify that into a light for the front. I'm also looking for bits of scrap metal. Cheap sheet metal would be fine. Just stuff to sort of dress it up. And I'm also looking for the old style metal ammo boxes, because I'm going to mount those on hard points, almost like saddlebags on a motorcycle. I would also like to eventually put an electric motor on this thing. So if you have an electric motor, let me know. I'm not looking at a lot of horsepower, because you get too much horsepower, you're going to get too much torque and that frame's going to tear apart. Now I'm willing to pay just a little more for an electric motor, obviously. But, you know, stars have to align, planets have to align, all that kind of stuff. It has to be the right motor, whatever, for me to really be convinced to put any kind of extra money into it. Now this will be a show bike, so we will be doing events with this bike. I mentioned Back to the Bricks, I mentioned I would like to have it debuted at the Rockabilly Show August 12th, and I would be more than happy to, you know, allow you to sit on it, take pictures with it. I can sit on it, you can sit in my lap, we can take pictures, whatever. Now I won't allow you to ride it just because of liability issues. So I'm hoping for a debut once again at the Rockabilly Show in August. My goal at that point is just to have it pieced together, the very basics pieced together, painted, and rideable. That's it. I don't need the motor by then. I don't need the ammo cases by then. I don't need all the fancy stuff. Just something to get it started. It can be a work in progress over the next few shows. I'd be happy with that. Over the next year or so. If you can help me, hit me up. Let me know. AtomicSwanFilms@gmail.com. And come out to the Rockabilly Review and Art Show on August 12th. That's the Friday before the actual Back to the Bricks cruise. We will have live Rockabilly music as well as artwork from artists, and that is a charity event. So come on out, have some fun, and see the bike, Little Boy.